Hello and welcome back, dear viewers, to this brand new episode of your show, The Untold. My name is Daij Al-Hutiri and I'm here with my colleague Hiba Al-Qahtani. How are we doing?
We're doing great, and hopefully everyone is really excited to know more about what do we have for them.
Yep, today is going to be very interesting. I promise you this one is going to be special, unique, and this is the first time to me knowing and learning, not learning, I'm about to learn though, new stuff about perfumes and perfumery and the industry. So we have this guy who actually create different fragrances and different perfumes with different ingredients and all of these kind of things. I didn't even think about it. When I imagine perfumes, I just imagine a brand and a
Yeah.
bottle, and that's it. But beforehand, there is the creation behind these kind of
Yes.
things. So today, I guess we're going to be, knowing more about this topic.
Indeed, and this is what we're going to know, especially when it comes into our guest, about his story and background and all of the great details, especially when it comes into the perfume industry itself, with our guest Hasan AlSarraf.
All right, welcome back to the studio, dear viewers. And right now we have Hasan AlSarraf. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're so happy to have you here with us.
Me too.
And you have something like new to me, at least, and I guess to all of us. So we're so thrilled to get to know more about you and how you started in this field.
This field, okay. Since I was a child, I was that child who recognized to smell everything before he eat it, before he drink it.
Oh, you have to smell the food
Yes,
before you
that,
eat it?
That curiosity has my childhood. So after that, I started to discover things like even the glass. I don't drink in the glass. I love plastic because
Because it has a different
I
smell?
had an experience since my childhood when I smelled something bad in the glass in one of the restaurants.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you
So
immediately
it
stopped.
left a mark
Yeah.
there and
It's
we're never...
nostalgic thing.
Oh, so you can't drink from that glass, right?
I will.
If you had to, then.
So I'm very sure that was very challenging for your parents in that matter of sense, because I'm very sure you were a picky child.
Yes.
That matter.
Yes.
So
And,
definitely, let's say, tiring when it comes into parenting in that matter. So choosing this, let's say, career is something very beautiful. It's more of the industry that people do love globally. Once you smell a beautiful perfume, you would immediately ask, search. Sometimes a person walks by you and you just smell that perfume, and it's very let's say, I don't know how to say it, but it's very difficult because you smell it on a person, and when you go to the store to buy it, it's completely different. Like, you feel like it's connected to that person. So when it comes into this industry, like, do you feel it's more of a challenging industry working as a perfumer?
it's challenging because of the competition. But I always say that number one in this industry is taste and art, and think out of the box or beyond the bottle
Yes.
to create things like you never think about them.
All right, fair. So actually, I have noticed here that you were influenced by Raymond Matz, right?
Yes.
Now, can you elaborate and tell us more about how he has influenced you in his work and, the art?
Raymond Matz is not just a perfumer. He's so picky when he chooses his students. He's a vice president of a lot of big companies. He did many successful things. He taught me to think beyond the bottle, not just to create a perfume and that's it. He taught me to speak the language and the art of perfumery, which is no one maybe is doing it these days. Raymond has his techniques. He collaborated with the most successful perfumers and any commercial in this industry. So, yeah, Raymond made my language in the perfumery field so much
Yes.
different. Maybe we share the same vision, which is we are trying to bring back the money to the juice. Because nowadays, as we can see, a lot of copy perfumes, which is people think it's a trend, but let's go back. It's not a trend. It is there actually since past.
It was there.
Yeah. So we are trying to put the money again in the juice. That means we are trying to develop the quality and bring it back as it is.
So he actually changed the way you approach fragrances or
Yes.
fragrance creation.
Yes.
In the matter.
Talking about this whole idea or concept, it's kind of a percentage. Now we have this kind of a very, let's say, less percentage for the people who are very into perfume when it comes into smelling it, when it comes into using it, and when it comes into developing it. And then we have the bigger percentage for the ones who would, let's say, just buy it because it's trendy, and then buying from any, let's say, brand who copies it because it's less expensive, the cost is less, and so on. So that kind of percentage, I'm very sure, is the one that you are focusing on, because they are the, let's say, dominant ones when it comes into, let's say, making it something that people would consider taking and buying. But when it comes into working in this industry, it's not just about what smells good, but it's about how it reflects you as a person, as a personality, because each perfume ingredient shows your personality.
Exactly.
If you
Wow.
are
Wow,
an angry
Rebecca. Wow.
person, if you are, let's say, a very delicate person. One of the things I did in life is when I turned 30, is I changed my perfume. And I went to the market and I just smelled specific ingredients and I was like, this is my perfume. And I just put it on myself and I went to work. One of, let's say, 10 person who I was working with noticed it and she was like, this is the new you. Like, imagine by just smelling the perfume, this is the new you. You are now in your 30s. So tell us more about that and about how it really affects people's personality and reflects it in that matter.
Okay. Let's go back to my beginnings. I started with this industry, like especially in the GCC wise. One of my struggling things was to study people character, and it was fun. I used to study all the characters, and as in a small shop in the Kuwait city, and it was fun because nowadays I see myself a superhero when I translate your character in a bottle.
Right.
That's one in my beginnings. So imagine I see like 10 people a day. Yeah.
And you have to socialize with them and talk so that you can
Exactly,
get
yeah.
to know more about their
But
personality.
when they leave happy, that's I made it. Because they will
They'll
buy.
come back.
Yeah.
Aye. Well, this is very interesting.
See, a new way of thinking when it comes into perfume.
I never thought about this in my whole life. This is something new. Oh, now let's now. You mentioned that you create different fragrances to different personalities and all of that. But now there's, I think, different techniques. We have the classical, traditional technique of making a perfume, and also there is the modern innovations.
Yes.
How can you keep up with both and like differentiate with them?
It's like I don't want to say PhD. It's the doctor of the medical or medicine. He should keep reading, learning, looking at the trends, looking at the market, evaluating the market. In my beginnings, I started to twist the classic notes with the new modern notes. Then I realized after getting my certification and everything with their Raymond Matz and sharing my vision with his vision, as I told you from the beginning, we are trying to bring back the classic thing, which is the rich perfumes, the classic perfumes. Let's say I won't twist it again, but I'm creating a new modern thing, which is timeless and trendy as well, with putting the touch of the classic notes in it.
So a mix of traditional, but with the new
Yes,
modern innovations.
It's like a dish of, let's say, matchboos,
Okay,
but you are adding the honey or
Modifying.
adding something to
modifying
it.
some notes and some touches to make it familiar to the new generation.
Nice.
Yeah, something new, something interesting,
Interesting.
but captivating at the same time. So talking about this, especially when it comes into working with ingredients, it's like you're a chemist. you are adding a specific ingredients. If you add more vanilla, it's going to ruin the whole taste, for
Exactly.
instance. So tell us more about this process when it comes into trying to create something new, the failure, the success of the, let's say, situation itself to solve the equation that you are adding. Because I'm very sure you do write in the notes, like adding 0.5 from this ingredients with this ingredients will make such a great perfume. And exceeding will ruin the whole process.
Yes, so Alhamdulillah, I'm in this process now and I reached this goal, which is I can write the formula before I create the scent because it's all about imagination. So you have your knowledge, you know the scents, you have the taste, so you can imagine the scent how it will be. So when it comes to the formula, I can write it, but modifying it is the, let's say, it's the difficult thing because modifying the perfume is not the scent itself, it's the projection of the scent, is the diffusion, the strongevity of the scent, the longevity, the first impression of the scent. My touch in perfumes, it's a secret, but
Yeah.
maybe a lot of people know that. I love to put something called ethyl vanillin and vanillin, which is the molecule of the vanilla. It's all in all my perfumes. I can use that, and I use it actually in the perfumes. It gives a sillage. So when you add more, it will damage the perfume or the scent actually.
So there's a,
Yeah,
like a
sometimes
limited
it's
amount.
harsh to the nose. So like, I don't know if you heard about EFRA and some restrictions in the EU cosmetics restrictions, which is some molecules and some ingredients has restrictions. You can't use it more than 1 to 2%.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. So it's a limited quantity of.
Yeah, this is the most difficult thing in this field. But again, as an artist, not a chemist, I don't have to follow these because after that step, I will take it to the chemist and he can modify it without damaging the scent itself.
So as an artist, and like you mentioned, artists usually use their emotions to create, music, paintings, and when it comes to creating a fragrance, how does the emotions play a
Same.
part?
It's imagination.
So
Storytelling, imagination, inspiration. When you see something, you can imagine the scent like directly. If I see any paint or even if a character or a person or a cloth you wear, I imagine everything as a scent. I don't see
Wow.
you as a human. I see you as a scent.
Yes.
So it's
The-
an emotional thing and storytelling thing actually. So like the poetic when he write,
his poet.
yeah, or a writer when he write his book, why he want the people to read it, because he's just adding the emotions and the stories inside, but in
Wow.
other way.
Yes.
Interesting.
And a very beautiful matter of sense. So a question is, sometimes it's the same perfume that you spray it and everyone smells it, but when it comes into smelling the first ingredient, it's different from a person to another.
Exactly.
So why does that happen? Like, it depends on the personality. Is that I smell the same perfume, but the ingredients that you smell is vanilla, and for instance,
It's
another.
about how you smell, not how the perfume is how structured.
See, I don't think this is an easy task.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone can do what you do, to be honest,
Exactly.
because even myself, I have a problem like smelling perfumes. My mom, for instance, she shout out to my hi mom.
Yeah.
So she brings
Be careful after
three
saying my mom.
perfumes, and then she tells me, "All right, smell this and this and this. Which one is which one you like more?" They all smell the same to me, but they're different. So I'm not quite sure how can you do it? How can you guys do it? But this is more detailed. The things that the ingredients and all these kind of things. This is gonna
To
be
me, as a perfumer, the first impression in the perfume is the most important thing when finalizing a bottle. But when it comes to smelling ingredients, yes, I had the story. I used to smoke, but it's not a good thing to smoke.
Of
I'm
course.
not forcing people to do that, but it's a bad habit. I used to smell some perfumes in a different way. After that, I stopped smoking. When one of the perfumes that I bought for myself always, I smelled it. What? It's not the same. But
Oh,
I
it's-
realized that my nose has, like, let's say, something blocked
Yeah, it
there.
was affected
There was-
by
it
it.
was-
Yeah,
So it's affected. So you smell things
Mhm.
different.
you didn't
Some
realize
people
that
smell
you
it
can
differently.
smell them. Yeah.
Nice. All right. So I guess we have a lot to ask and a lot to talk about. But first, let's take this quick break, dear viewers, and then we'll be back. All right, and we are back, dear viewers, with Hasan AlSarraf, and this is getting more interesting. So let's now talk about, I would say, the challenges that you face in the industry itself. I know we previously talked about a little bit, but you can express yourself, elaborate, and tell us more.
Okay. Challenging are stepping stones. I use them as a platform for growth. So this is a quote, I wrote it,
Nice.
and I believe in it. In this industry, the most challenging thing is how you create something timeless. And I always say that to my friends and to myself, I'm a timeless person. So
Mhm.
try to build things around me.
Oh, that's
Yes.
very beautiful. So sometimes the bottle that preserves the perfume does play a very big role in, let's say, purchasing it. Sometimes the perfume is very beautiful, but that kind of impression, that
branding?
it's not the branding, it's the way the bottle shapes looks like, could affect how strong the perfume is, or how, let's say, a person could like to buy it. So do you think that the finishing bottle, the one that you present in the market, is very important to let also the people get attracted to the bottle and have that kind of sense of curiosity of what is the sense that is presented?
Absolutely, because people buy with their eyes, not
Right.
when they smell the perfume.
Mhm.
That's why you can see most of the people and influencers are marketing the perfume and they buy it without smelling it, because today is branding is everything. And to me, I don't care. I use plastic bottles to use my sense with myself, and I put it in the packet and just go out. But when it comes to selling it, to present it, you want sometimes, as a perfumer, I love to present my scent or my mood board out,
Mhm.
like the box, the bottle. It's
Yes,
reflect the scent
packaging and everything
itself.
should
Yeah.
reflect it. Yeah.
Like some of my projects, it was for Valentine. Yeah, I reflected Valentine in a box and in a scent.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess, but most likely people will go for the, beautiful boxes and branding and names rather than
Yeah.
the smell itself. But yeah,
And that is the cost, actually. You are selling a brand, not a scent. This is a big problem today I am facing, and it's challenging because my work as a perfumer to create a scent takes months and years. But when it comes to the branding, you just give the mood board and the inspiration, and the brander can do it for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
so you have had this experience in California, or sorry, maybe Los Angeles, I would say.
Angeles,
Yeah.
yes.
With art and what is it
Art
called?
and olfaction.
Olfaction.
Yeah, I
Right.
used to be in Los Angeles. Started there actually in art and olfaction.
All right.
What is the question?
Yeah. So how did it actually impact you on creating or being creative on making
not-
the programs?
It's not impacting, but it's today it's Hasan AlSarraf. Yes. Why? Because it's typically the name, art and olfaction. It's taught me how to translate the art to the olfaction. I remember that day I went there and I saw the people looking at the paintings and trying to describe a scent. I said, what is this? They are crazy or what? But
Yes.
today I realized it's scent is art and art is scent.
This is me now. It's me now. Still,
Discovered this.
I need to develop my sense of knowledge, and they're not crazy.
They are not.
Indeed.
So
Right.
you actually, whenever you see something, you literally like a smell of
You can translate.
sheets,
Yeah, I
paper.
translate it to a scent. Yeah, this is my passion.
A beautiful new talent.
Yeah.
I sense that you are going to look and dig in this.
No, I
kind
really
of
enjoy
field.
this. I'm liking it, and I'm gonna have to. I will start by watching the movie that we talked about.
You can come to
Yeah.
my Facebook anytime, and
Definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
Yes. So when it comes into having your own rituals and routines, especially when it comes into creating perfume, what do you actually do? Especially that us in Kuwait having a very great social society. People do talk a lot and represent an idea. And of course, we have gatherings. One of the most important thing is to have this beautiful scent being presented
Exactly,
at home for
yes.
everyone who attend and goes and leave. Must remember that the house, that me as a person, as a host, smell very beautiful and good. That it remains in the person's
Yes.
memory and mind.
Nostalgia.
Yes. So when it comes into that kind of, let's say, situation, what does Hassan do as a ritual for him to present that kind of sense?
I take the elements
Mm-hmm.
and convert them into a scent. Uh,
Like, do you listen to, let's say, for instance, I want something that relate to gathering. So you
yes,
listen to
actually, I did
sound
that
of
in
gathering,
one of my projects.
music, yeah.
One of my projects, I created that. I called it the Kuwaiti woman in Ramadan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it reflects the gold that they wear, the dara'a and the Gursa Gali in
Yeah.
Arabic.
What they have, yeah.
The cardamom and the cake side and the coffee note, yeah. So that's make a nostalgic.
Memory and
Memory, yeah,
relation.
yeah.
That is actually, because this is what happens, that when we smell this sense, it's for the wedding. This is for Ramadan. This is for only specific occasions. So you can immediately connect it.
Nostalgia is sometimes can be a bad thing and a bad emotion or a bad story or a good story and fun
Yeah.
story. So when it comes to me, I don't mind to create that emotion because actually it's in your life.
It's something. It
Yeah,
means
even
something.
if you
That's
go
why you
back
remember
to
it.
it, I have one scent. I always, when I want to think, I spray it and just set it. It's getting me back to
Yeah.
one of the cities that I lived in.
That's
Yeah.
really quite nice and interesting.
So I'm assuming you want to be remembered, right?
Sure,
You want to be a legacy,
sure.
right? So in this field, being a legacy, it takes a
It
a
takes
lot of
time
time,
and sacrifice.
effort. Yes, definitely. So how do you see yourself in the future, like in terms of the legacy?
Actually, legacy means creating a strong base and a strong community and successful work. Continuing that legacy is to stay up front the people. So you keep creating trends before the trends come.
Yeah, you have to be ahead.
Exactly. So trends born to be expired, but how to make that timeless? This is the legacy.
Yes.
Yes.
And then it will be nostalgic.
Exactly.
Wow, very beautiful. To me, I had that kind of experience. Is I had this great love for a perfume, and then I got pregnant, and that was the end.
Oh, that was the
Perfume.
end.
Yeah, like every time I smell it, it's like, ugh, pregnancy all over again. So kind of a memory I don't really enjoy. But
It's a bad emotion,
See?
but
Yeah.
sorry,
You
it's
see?
a bad nostalgia, but it's a
Yes.
good emotion when you
Yes.
think about it.
so I have Maria. Maria is beautiful, but every time, and you know that it was let's say transferred to her when she smells the sense, like, I don't like it. I was like, you ruin it for me. It's because of you. I don't hear it. Like to let's say smell it.
Smell.
So if we want to translate today, Hassan, in a matter of sense, what are you going to be?
Good
Difficult question, huh? So you said something of vanilla, something that you really like. So
I like it.
Is
I
it
like
going to
put
be
it and,
within your
to
ingredients?
add it, but I would be a mysterious and a mysterious perfume that you can't recognize what is that scent, but it's buzzy. It's,
Yeah, I like it. Wow.
No.
Quite interesting,
it?
huh?
I'm imagining.
And you know, I imagined it's more of a white bottle, but it's not that white. It's kind of a marshmallow bottle that gives you more of a, let's say, interest. What is the color of the perfume? You know, that kind of sensitiveness. Yeah. See? I feel that Age is going to really look
I'm gonna
through this
visit him.
industry.
I'm
and
gonna pay you a visit. We're gonna go. We're gonna
have
talk
to,
about this, and I will go
It's my
through this
pleasure, yeah.
experience. The pleasure is ours, of course, as well, having you here with us today.
If you
So-
come to my place, you won't go out.
Definitely,
I'm really
I'll
terrified of the
leave-
movie. Just watch the movie before going, so you know what's happening.
I'll prepare myself beforehand. So when it comes to the next generation, what advice would you give to those who would like to be in this field? Because I don't think we have a lot of people like you, right?
Hmm.
So this is why I was like,
Even if there is, they call
Quite a
themselves-
little.
Not everyone a perfumer today, but as I said at the beginning, it's taste, but always stay curious. People doesn't go out of the box
Right.
and doesn't go out of the circle that they live in. So just stay curious and learn new things. Be curious for everything. There's no restriction. If you want to be an artist or creative or a legacy, yeah, go ahead.
does it have to be? Do you have to start from an early age, just like you?
You don't have. Maybe it's there actually. Creating something successful. This is your start.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try mixing some stuff at your place if that's okay. And
You
let's see
will?
what kind of personality or thing I would
Oh,
leave with.
this is something
You know,
very
if I give you the
challenging.
same ingredients on this table, same ingredients for me and for you and for her, no one can come up with the same scent actually.
The outcome is different because
Yeah,
the way you.
Yeah, it's an imagination. How like when I train people, the first test I put in, I grab some oils and I let them choose, and no restriction, just go, just follow your nose, follow your imagination. And the last question to pass this train is, did you follow the imagination that you had in mind, or the thing that you smelled it when you did the perfume? If yes, yeah, you are successful.
And the most important thing is, as you just said, in this whole process, is always try to get out of the box. Try to feel and understand the unknown, because this is something very beautiful. It's more of a journey that you're going to and through, and I'm very sure people are going to really enjoy it. And once you learn and know and understand, I'm very sure you cannot go back
Exactly.
just to the normal scent that you are buying, the normal, let's say, perfume. So yeah, it's something very beautiful to think about and to keep in mind, to have that kind of, let's say, taste. Don't think only about food, but also think about how beautiful you do smell. Yes.
Food and I mean it's perfumery and flavoring and food all related in one piece actually.
So do you actually use food as
Sure.
an ingredient,
Yeah,
maybe?
Yes. As you just said, Gersageli, and you know,
Oh yes, you mentioned that.
yeah.
And that's
The
when
most
I started
important thing is
imagining
to
that.
have
And I do sometimes I do mixologist. I'm not only a perfumer. I do mixology, which is I create drinks also as well.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same flavor, the
Concept,
same
yeah.
notes. Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Well, this leads us to the end of this interview. But again, hopefully, I'm gonna get to see you soon, and we will discover more about this field and industry. All right.
Yeah.
So
So watch the movie and
Yes,
prepare.
most
this is what you mentioned. I'll be watching the movie, and then I'll get to see you soon. All right. So, dear viewers, let's take this really quick break before we wrap the episode. All right, and that was the end, dear viewers. It was a lovely interview. I enjoyed every bit of it. I learned a lot of cool stuff today, and hopefully I'm gonna meet Hasan later.
Yeah.
Of course, after the movie.
Yeah, you have to watch the movie, The Perfumer. I mean,
Perfume.
it's one of the great, let's say, movies that represent that kind of, let's say, idea of what Hassan is actually trying to present for everyone. But to be honest, it's one of the great industry and one of the great, let's say, episodes that I'm very sure a lot of people did learn a lot talking
Yeah.
more about perfume itself.
We hope you enjoyed it, dear viewers. And yes, that was the end. So we hopefully get to see you again in another episode of The Untold. Goodbye.